Okay, now today we're going to talk about success with the custom keto diet. And for those of you that aren't familiar, the custom keto diet really puts together a great meal plan for virtually anything, any of your weight loss goals. It's really customizable. They put together these meal plans that will keep you in ketosis and help you achieve your weight loss goals. So let's go take a look at it real quick. And here we have the website, and they've got the sales video here. If you want to, you can read the sales literature, but it really kind of starts off custom right away. So if you haven't done this already, you go here and you click on get your custom keto diet. And the first thing they do, they're going to ask you some questions, because really they're trying to set this up to be customized for you as soon as you log in, so that all of your settings are already there. And you can pick your daily activity. And I don't know that I'm average. I don't know what average is, but then you can pick your meats. If you like all the meats, you can select them all. If you want no meats, they do have no meat options, or you can just pick the ones that you like. Perhaps you've got something about pork that you don't like, but either way, these are great. But right now they're just trying to get things set up. Once you get inside the plan, and I'll show you this, you can change all of this as you see fit. You can change it as often as you like. They don't really recommend changing things more than maybe once a week, and I'll show you why. It kind of affects all the plan when you do that. But anyway, here you can select all your vegetables, and I like them all. I like vegetables. And here's another one where you can kind of pick and choose which ones you like. I'm not particularly fond of cottage cheese or coconut for that matter, so we'll leave those off. And then we can fill in some numbers here, and I'll go ahead and be as honest as I can here. And I did talk to the doctor yesterday, and he kind of said something about high school weight, which was a little less than that, but nevertheless, I don't think that I think that might be too thin for me. But anyway, after you get here, it kind of gives you a summary, and this is where it gets a little interesting to me. I would think that they kind of have a buy now button right here after you do it, but you got to go to the bottom, then get it now, and then once again, you're still not there. You got to go ahead and complete the order. Now, when I do this, it would enter my email address. So I've got this already opened up. But anyway, it would take you a page like this, and where you can pay for it. Now, they do use ClickBank as their provider to keep to make sure that you get paid before you get access, and it automatically creates the account for you once you do this. But here's the normal the normal credit card, normal payment methods. One thing that I do recommend is that you take advantage of this $3.99 offer for a Keto 101 ebook and video series. When I first saw this, I thought it was one thing. I thought it was an ebook and video series, essentially the same video of the ebook, but it's not. These are actually two separate courses that you can include for just $3.99. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good deal. It's pretty low cost, and the custom keto diet is really kind of focused on the meal plans, if you will, or different meals to keep you in ketosis and helping you lose weight. But this, if you're interested, I always like to read about diets a little more so that I understand them. And if you're not familiar with keto, then I would certainly recommend this. Even if you are familiar with keto, if you're not like a master, this is always a good book. Now, the first thing, after you pay, the first thing that's going to happen is they're going to offer you a coaching program. And they offer 30 days for free, and I would recommend to take advantage of the 30 days for free. And what kind of comes with the coaching program is two things. One, you get a little email support. They send you emails periodically that have some great information in them. But really, the main coaching is in the Facebook group. And they've got a Facebook group. And initially, I thought that, I don't know about this Facebook group. Some of them aren't very helpful, but I'm going to show you what it's like in the Facebook group, at the end here, and it's actually a pretty good group, pretty active, and the support in there is pretty good. Not only from the coaches, but another thing about Facebook groups is you can get support kind of from your peers, other people that are going through it with you. So that's a good idea, and it's free for 30 days. So I'd recommend going ahead and trying that. And then if you want to stick around, you can stick around after the 30 days. And then after you make a decision on the coaching program, you're going to be offered a what they call a BioSlim product. I think that's the name of it. But anyway, this is a probiotic, which is to help your gut flora, if you will, the microbes inside your stomach. And it's something that she goes through and talks about the best kinds and how she sourced it and what the research shows and all that stuff. So it's actually a pretty good product. And if you're new to this, this is certainly something that can help if you've been eating clean for a while. Probiotics are still probably a good idea just to keep things going. Now I'm already using them, so I clicked on. They have several different offers there. You can buy one, you can buy three, or I think you can buy six, and they get lower cost per bottle as you go through. But when I said no, the first thing they did was they said, "Hey, how's about a buy one get three free offer?" Which, when I did the math, that's actually a better deal than any of the previous offers. So that was a pretty good deal. So if you want to save a little money and you want those, then maybe you can try to decline the initial offer and buy do the buy one get three free. Now after that, you're really almost into the product, but they do offer you one last thing, and it's a recipe book for keto diets, those types of things, diets and treats, whether it's salty or sweet. And I forget the exact number of recipes, but either way, I declined that because I'm not a big sweet or treat person. But when I got in the diet, and I can kind of show you what happened, there's actually some pretty good stuff in there. And I looked at some of the super easy, quick recipes for cheesecake in this particular case, and I was pretty impressed, and I thought, well, maybe I should have bought the upsell for the recipes for the treats and snacks, but I didn't do that. So anyway, then you're taken to a page after you complete the payment. You're taken to a page that's got a link off to the custom keto diet, and they also send you an email. Now, my email was actually went to my spam filter, so you might want to check there if you don't have it, just because it's not always easy to get back to that page. But once you have the email, you can bookmark this or whatever, because you're always going to have access to it. But after you get logged in, or after you're paid, this is kind of what you see. A nice little short welcome video here from Rachel, talking a little bit about the program and those types of things. And this is something that I didn't see advertised anywhere in the sales literature, but this is a intermittent fasting for keto dieters. And if you're not familiar with intermittent fasting, it's a pretty good. There's lots of science behind it on how it can help you keep from losing muscle mass while you're losing weight. There's some indications of that it really helps, and it also helps you eat less because you're only eating during smaller windows is one way to do it, or certain days, different ways to do it. But anyway, this was something that's kind of added or free in here that I didn't see advertised anywhere, so that was kind of a pleasant surprise when I got in. Now, your plan is right here, and you can always get to this menu. Kind of stays on the left as far as I can tell, but you can always get here with the plan. And the first thing that I want to do, just because I mentioned it, and you're going to see that all this stuff changes when I change this stuff up here, is this microwave cheesecake. And this is the one that I was talking about, that I found that I wished I had maybe gotten some more of this, because this is actually pretty good, and it's pretty quick and easy for simple ingredients, and just a few seconds in the microwave to melt that cream cheese. Then we add the rest of them, and 90 seconds later, you're literally eating cheesecake on your diet, which I thought was pretty awesome. And it's actually pretty tasty. And so you can see here that they do have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack. If you're doing intermittent fasting, this is something that you just try to cram into your feeding window, whether it's 8 hours or 4 hours or however you're doing it. And they do have a pretty good variety of stuff. We'll go over all that in a minute. But the big thing is, like I said, this is a custom keto diet, and virtually everything about it is customized. You can see here that this is kind of what I had put in there initially, and any of this stuff can be changed. As you lose weight, you can you can enter the new weight here. So let's say I lost some weight, 12 pounds, down to 195. And it's going to ask you this. The reason it's going to ask you this is because all this stuff down here is going to change. And if you were using this, then you might want to cancel it. But in this case, we'll update it. And you can see that everything down here changed. The daily calories went down, which is, as you lose weight, you need less calories and you can eat less to keep you healthy and losing weight. So all of this stuff changes. Every time that you make changes to most of this stuff, you can, the ones that I've changed, they do make changes down here. Anything that affects the daily calories is probably going to change everything down here. Now, the same thing here, you can see that your target weight, if you didn't set it right, or you get your target weight, and you say, hey, maybe I want to try to see what it feels like at 150 pounds. You can change that here. And once again, it changes the custom keto, that changes the whole meal plan. It kind of gives you estimated what you're going to be in 30 days here. And so you can change any of this stuff at any time. The only thing that I found that it doesn't appear that you can change is the gender, whether it's male or female. Now, I don't know if that makes a difference, but nevertheless, there's no way to change that. One of the things that I have noticed is that as you lower this, what actually happens is you get smaller portions in some of these. And the reason they do that is because, your target, your daily calories is kind of a target, and they don't all add up to 2,170 every day. Some days you eat a little more, some days you eat a little less, but over time it averages out. So all of this, anything with the edit here can be changed. And then as we come kind of down the page, we'll just go over everything. You can see here that you can see different weeks, and you do get 8 weeks. It does have 8 weeks of meals. And you can remember how we set up the different stuff that we liked earlier, when we were making the purchase. All this stuff can be changed from right in here. It's pretty easy, and it's always available to you. You can take stuff out or add it back, and you'll get the same, of course, warning when you're done. Once you try to click save, I'll just cancel it. But same thing happens here because it's going to change your meal plan. We can filter it. This is something that I thought was pretty neat, and it all depends on you and your personal preference, but sometimes I like to find things that are easy to cook and kind of satisfying for me, and just eat those over and over again. So you can, if you get a day that's right for you, you can just say, hey, I want to eat this 3 days a week or every other day, or however you want to do it. Just make it the same. So I thought that was pretty neat. You can also do more or less variety here. And then these are pretty neat. And I'll go ahead and click this. It's going to try to go to the printer, but we'll cancel that. And if you want to print this out and put it on your refrigerator, something that makes it easy to just look up here and see what you're eating next. Now, some of this stuff I would probably need the recipe, so I'd know exactly how to do this. But I guess if you had, once you get your meal plan right with the recipes that you're familiar with, you could just print it out and put it on the refrigerator. And you can do this forever, even though it's, you've got 8 weeks. You could literally do this as long as you want. You'll have access to this forever. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh yeah, the download the shopping list. Now this is something that I thought was neat. We'll go ahead and click this, and it'll open up, and you can see that it's kind of taken a while, and what it's actually doing is kind of calculating how much of the stuff that you're going to need. Now, the reason that they do this is is, and the reason that I say this is because I've tested this out. We could go over here and change something out. Let's do that, and I think what happens is, let's say we want to have less calories. Maybe we've tried this and we're not losing as much weight, or we're eating something that's 200 calories a day, and we're doing this every day off the menu. So we just change that, and we can update this. It changes everything. Now let's download the shopping list again. It opens up. It's doing some thinking. We're just going to compare the two, because this is something that I thought was really, it's kind of crazy how good they do this. But it tells you like exactly how many eggs. Here we needed 21. Here we needed 22. So it's got tells you exactly how much of everything that you're going to need. Now, it's not perfect, and something that I've seen fairly regularly is they've got this bacon slice down here. This comes in other ingredients, and up here in meat and fish, they've got bacon slices. Now, I don't know if it's the capitalized bacon or it's the slice down here and the slices up here, but either way, they kind of show up in different places. Or maybe this one does it in ounces and this one does it in slices, but either way, you wind up with bacon in two places. Is the only real thing that I've seen in this one. There might be others. But downloading the shopping list is pretty convenient. Helps you do your shopping. Now, that was the coaching Facebook group. And let's see, as we go down the page, now, each one of these menus, and we popped up one of those microwave cheesecakes a minute ago, but every one of these, you can click on it and you get your, you get your ingredients, get your prep here, tells you how to prepare it. Of course, gives you all your macros here, how many calories you have, proteins, fats, and carbs. You can print the recipe if you want, and most of the ones I've seen have a video. There was one that I saw that didn't have a video, but I haven't looked at all of them. But most of them have a video here, which is kind of helpful to, so you can see how everything's prepared. It's actually pretty detailed over here, and you can see that there's a pretty good variety of food here. And all of this stuff has, it has, the ingredients, how to prepare it, and kind of a video. So every one of them does that. And then all the snacks are, of course, included. Now, a couple of things that you can do here. You can swap out the recipes. Let's say for, you don't like bacon omelets, or maybe there's something out here like the keto bread. This is a breakfast sandwich that uses keto bread. You can swap this out, and you can see, you just click on it and you can pick any number of things that you can have. And what it does, it tries to, keep you in the same calorie range. So you can do that with any menu. Anything on the menu, you can change that out at any time. And, well, you can do that for any reason. Now, the other thing, and this is something that if you're going to do fast food, and I know sometimes if you're at lunch or going out with friends, it's hard to eat exactly what's on your meal plan. But they do have, you can swap out some fast foods, and you can actually, I'll show it to you. But if you look at the Baconator here from Wendy's, it essentially tells you no bun and ketchup. So, don't think that you can go to just go to fast food and get the bun, because that's not going to happen. Eating bread or something like that is certainly not going to keep you in keto. So the other thing that I want to say about this is sometimes you got to be prepared to look in advance, because there's not always each of them are going to see. This one has a lot, and you can see that there's a lot of different places that you can go. They have different options at a lot of different restaurants. So this is something that you probably want to be prepared before you go. They even have, Olive Garden, Panera Bread, Jimmy John's, Chick-fil-A, so they've got a lot of different options, but this is something that you might want to take a look at, just so that if you do go to fast food restaurants, that there's things that you can do, and you probably want to know in advance rather than sitting there looking at the menu trying to figure out what to eat. So anyway, that is kind of what's inside the custom keto diet. You can see that it's pretty custom, and there's a lot that you can do with it. Now, I did mention this is the option, where you click for $3.99, and it does have the free book that you can download. And it's also got these recipes or these videos that are in addition to that. You can see that they're actually different. Well, maybe it may not be obvious, but these are not the same. So the information in here is presented differently down here. They probably say the same things, and sometimes it helps to hear the same thing in different ways. Now, they do have some recipes here that do include some snacks and sweet things and smoothies, and whether it's peanut butter or chocolate. Of course, bacon, avocados are always high on the keto list of things to do, but desserts, cookies, and then some fast keto recipes. Now, I haven't been able to determine if these are similar to the ones that I mentioned that I thought perhaps I should have gotten with the treat recipes, but there's a lot in here, so maybe you don't need to get those treat recipes at all. Maybe they're all in here. Then these are supplements that you certainly don't have, but they do have links in here where you can go off to Amazon and buy them. And some of these stuff that I've noticed that they send emails about different ones of these. They don't mention that you can get them through here, but this is something that they do talk about a little bit. And then some of these ingredients are stuff that are in every store. Some of this stuff I don't want to say especially, but this is a sweetener that is apparently just like a sugar substitute. It looks and tastes like sugar with a little less sweetness, but other than that, it cooks kind of like sugar, so it can, it's got the granular feel. A lot of the artificial sweeteners don't do that. They leave aftertaste, those types of things. I've actually tried this. I'm actually using it now, and it's I'm pretty happy with it. I'm kind of impressed that it's something that looks and feels like sugar, and it has like 0 calories, so it's actually pretty good. And being 0 calories, it actually has pretty keto friendly. And then the last thing that I want to point out, they do have a FAQ here, or frequently asked questions, and this is the I mentioned this previously, but I want to point it out again that even though it's an 8-week meal plan, you actually have access to this forever. So whenever you're in the future, you're thinking about a diet, you think you may need to lose weight, you can always come back to this. So it's always going to be here. You can just pick it back up at any time. So the next thing I want to do is kind of jump into the Facebook group just to kind of show you a few things in here. I don't want to give you too much access, but they do really kind of help out. Now, this is somebody, and I've got this kind of configured. I've got it blown up so you can see it, but I've also got it configured where this person actually put their email address in here. So I've got it a little lower than this, but really all it says is that she's new and her email address is something, I don't know, maybe she's trying to prove that she actually bought it or something. But anyway, she's got this question. She's had gastric bypass surgery, lost a lot of weight, trying to lose a little extra, and the portion sizes are apparently too big for her right now. And she also has a protein shake that apparently she wants to take every day. She doesn't say why, but there are some people that have special needs, and the support that she got, and this always happens pretty quickly. These guys are really quick to respond to most things. Now, I'm not up in the middle of the night, so I don't know that they're always quick. But one of the things that, and I think I kind of mentioned this, is that if these meals are too big, you can always lower the calories. If you remember, there's a way to adjust the number of calories, which is going to adjust your meal sizes. And the other thing, and I thought that this was pretty neat. Now, that you can't go add this to the diet plan, but what you can do is if you want to eat if you've got some sort of supplement that you're going to take every day that has in this case it's probably got 150, 200 calories or something every day, you just go in there and reduce your calories, and you achieve the same thing as if you put this in there. So that's an example of pretty good support for a kind of an off the wall question. And when I say off the wall, I mean, something that's not standard. Some people have special needs. And the next one here is kind of interesting. Now, this person says this is the meal plan that she's got today. She says her question is, it makes 5. How many of them can she have as a snack? Because it makes 5. Now, of course, they come in here and say, go ahead and eat all 5 because that's what it told her to do in the recipe. So you can see that she was kind of surprised there. Wow, that's a lot of food. And speaking of a lot of food, here's another one. Day 1. She had her breakfast, and she's sitting down looking at lunch, and she's wondering if this is a food eating challenge because she's got a lot of food, and she's kind of surprised if she doesn't understand if she made too much or if she's really supposed to eat all this. And so they tell her, hey, if you can't finish everything, don't worry, boss. They make sure that you got plenty of food in here because they're trying to get you to a higher number of calories. But let's face it, if you're full, it's time to stop eating. So I wanted to point that out. Now let's go over and take a look at what some people are saying about the custom keto diet. Okay, now of course, every product has testimonials, but these are a few of the ones that I found that I thought were pretty neat. Now, this first one is from Katie Thompson in the UK. She says she's lost 35 pounds. She's got no hunger pains, and she feels mentally sharp as a pin. It's going to become a way of life for me as it's so easy to follow. All the meals are planned out. She gets a downloadable shopping list with all the ingredients for the weekly shop. So it's really a doddle. Maybe that's something they say in the UK. Not too familiar with that term. But sounds like she's pretty happy with it. One of the things that I didn't mention exactly was the hunger pains. But I did talk about how, there's a lot of food and you're seldom hungry when you're on keto. The other thing is the mentally sharp as a pin. Now, this is something that I didn't talk about, but it's pretty common for people to say this when they get on the keto diet, because sometimes carbs can make you feel a little lethargic. You get that fat cat attack as well, we used to call it, after you eat a big meal, but it largely doesn't happen with keto. Now, the next one here is from Jessica Gray. She says she's 4 weeks into her custom keto diet plan, and she's lost 14 pounds, which she thinks is pretty incredible, which is actually quite a lot of weight in the first month. It's actually amazing watching my body transform into something I'm actually proud of rather than something I always have to cover up. So Jessica in the U.S. is pretty happy. The next one here is from Gary in Canada, and he says he struggled with his weight his whole life, and it's safe to say that he's tried a lot of diets, and the keto diet is the only one that he's managed to stick with, and the weight is literally melting off his body. Unlike other diets where he's feeling hungry all day and food is constantly on his mind, the keto diet has completely eliminated this. He actually never feels hungry with this way of eating, and he would definitely recommend anyone struggling to lose weight to try the custom keto meal plans, as they really have been a godsend for him. So once again, Gary is pretty happy with that. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is the what some of the happy customers have to say about the BioSlim. If you remember, the BioSlim is the probiotics that is kind of offered after you make the purchase and after you've decided on the coaching plan. So here's Louise Allen. Says she's lost 6 dress sizes and her extra large pants are all now in the garbage, which is a pretty good thing when you're going down in pants sizes. And here's Dennis. He says he's managed to lose over 90 pounds. He's never felt better. So he's, these are people that are using the BioSlim as well as the custom keto diet, and they're pretty happy losing weight. And here's Melanie. She says she's lost 110 pounds so far, although she's not where she wants to be yet. So she's lost 110 pounds so far, and she's looking forward to losing the rest. So these are all some pretty happy customers that are using the custom keto diet plan. And these last 3 where you had the pictures of them were actually from the BioSlim, and really I just took a snapshot out of her video is how I got these pictures here. Now this is a as far as I can tell, this is can be a really effective diet plan, and most people you can see are pretty happy about it. So as always, we have some pros and cons, and some of the pros, some of the good things about the custom keto diet, and there's probably a lot more than this, but the big ones are it's truly custom. I kind of showed you can change out things. There's virtually nothing that you can't change, although you can't like add to it. You can't add your own different meals and have it figure that stuff out. But it's truly custom. You can change everything, and as you go down, it gives you smaller portions. It really kind of goes with you for whatever your weight loss goals are. It's a very effective plan. There's lots of testimonials. We showed you lots of different people that have been happy with it and they've lost weight. And the thing that I like about it is it's healthy. There's probably ways to do keto where you're eating a lot of processed food and stuff like that. But this is really, all the meals are generally very healthy, made from natural products. For the most part, so it's a very healthy diet, and it's very detailed. The recipes and the preparation, all that stuff is just really detailed. So it's a really good product. And like I said, there's lots of other things that I can say that are good about it. Now there are a few things that I don't like. I don't want to say that it's perfect because it's not. It's probably hard to find something that is perfect. And a lot of these cons are probably something that are going to be cons for a lot of different diet programs, just because it's hard to have a complete package. So the first one is that there's really no help in setting goals. It kind of just assumes that away. It assumes that you already know how much weight you need to lose. So there's not a lot of talk on how to figure out, the goals that you should have. And the reason that I say that is because sometimes it can be important to have a goal that means something to you rather than just something that you felt like on Tuesday. And said, hey, I need to lose 30 or 50 pounds. And then, the following week, you're like, why do I even think I need to lose weight? So there's really no help in setting, good goals that you can stick with for the long term. And then there's no real plan for dealing with obstacles. This is something that, I saw kind of some questions in the Facebook group, and people are dealing with, I'm at work and people want to go to lunch and I'm having trouble, because I've gone out with these friends every day, and what can she do, and those types of things. And there are always going to be obstacles. We all have different situations. Perhaps some of us are single and we're the ones that are buying the food and bringing it in the home, and some people are married, and maybe the family wants different foods and it's always there, and it's not easy to not eat the stuff that's in the house. So those are obstacles that aren't really dealt with in this plan. But like I said, a lot of this stuff isn't in a lot of plans. And then there's a lack of help with dealing with emotions. Once again, in the Facebook group, you get a little bit of support. A lot of it comes down to just, stick with it, girl. You're going to be fine. You got this, which is kind of helpful in a way, but it doesn't really, help you deal with emotions. And anybody that's gone through different diets, there's usually different types of emotions. One, because you're making life changes, and the other one is perhaps sometimes you get frustrated because this isn't happening fast enough, or any sort of things. I've been stuck here for 3 days or 2 weeks or whatever. What is it? You deal with the emotions, and there's not a lot of help with that. Although once again, the Facebook group can offer some suggestions. And then the last thing is there's no real maintenance plan. It even actually kind of talks about it at one point where, once you're done with it, then you can go on with your life. But so to me, there's no real maintenance plan. And what I mean by this is, and I know that I've certainly been through this. You go from one diet, and I used to finish a diet and literally go to the donut store and just like go right back to my normal way of living. So there's no real talk about, what happens when you've achieved your weight loss goals. What do you do next? Those types of things. What happens, in the future? How do you try to maintain this healthy lifestyle going forward? So there's no real talk about that. But like I said, most diet plans don't talk about. These are common cons for everything. For the most part, there's a lot of really good stuff, and it's something that you should really, I think can be very effective for you. But there are some things that I've put together as bonuses because I really want to help you achieve your weight loss goals with the custom keto diet, and for that to happen long term and really become just second nature to you. So, we all know those people that just seem to stay skinny forever, no matter what. But really, it's kind of second nature to them. It's just easy. They don't even try, and that's what I want to help everybody be able to do, is just have this become very natural. So what I did is I put together some videos that are going to help you with all of those cons. I've got a video that talks about setting goals, and what I mean by that is, how do we set accurate goals? How do we set the true goals so that we're going to feel the same way this morning, this afternoon, and tonight, and every time we're faced with an obstacle, as we are when we first set that goal. In other words, how do we get that fully integrated in your mind so that it just kind of becomes the default? This is, kind of what we want to do, is get it fully integrated so that we always feel like the goal that we have in mind is a goal that we can stick with for the long term. So the next bonus that I put together was a plan for dealing with obstacles. And really, this kind of starts with, this is what I kind of call the action plan here. What is it that you can do to immediately start taking action? What is it that needs to be done? Because let's face it, you're changing the way you eat. One thing is, you have to deal with that change. That is a change that you're going to have to deal with. And it's an obstacle. You've got some inertia. You've done things a certain way for a long time, and now you've got to change that. Other obstacles are kind of like I mentioned earlier, where maybe you are not the only person in the house. Maybe you have to buy food for other people. That can be an obstacle. You might have another obstacle. Your friends go out to eat for lunch while you're at work. Perhaps other obstacles. You got friends that want to take you, out and party, and they want you to go out and enjoy an evening with them. And we all know that a lot of times that winds up going out to eat and having fun and perhaps drinking, if that's your thing. But those are, what is the plan for dealing with obstacles? And once again, you want this to kind of be fully integrated so that you always feel this way. So when an obstacle comes up, you kind of know exactly what you're going to do, and that's what you do. So the next bonus that I have is is what I call the the emotional part, how to deal with emotions. Now really, when it comes down to it, there's really two different types of emotions. You have the negative emotions and the positive emotions. So what this video is really there to do is help you kind of understand the negative emotions and give you effective ways to deal with those emotions. And in some cases, those negative emotions can be entirely dissolved, where you don't really feel them anymore because you know where they're coming from. And the other thing that you want to do with emotions is, there's some positive emotions that everybody really enjoys. Now, those are the kinds of emotions that you can actually use to kind of harness those emotions and move you forward with your goals. And once again, when you have this fully integrated, it becomes pretty easy to deal with the negative emotions. And like I said, in some cases, completely dissolve them and then harness those positive emotions so that you can really help them kind of propel you to your goals. Now, the last bonus that I have is another one. It's kind of a twofold thing. Helps you with your make adjustments, helps you do the long-term success here. And there's a couple of different things that it's going to do here. One, it's going to help you identify the little problems that you're having day to day. And the other big thing, and this is the big one here, is it's really going to help this become kind of second nature. What do we do with the maintenance? How do we deal with that? But on a higher level, what is it that we can do to help us to just make this second nature so that it just happens. We don't struggle with it at all. We just kind of go through life and flow. And there's ways that you can really do this. And once again, we want this to be fully integrated into your life. So there are 4 bonus videos that I think will really help you achieve success with the custom keto diet. And once again, all of these are designed to help you fully integrate this stuff into your life so that you can have success and life becomes pretty easy and you can achieve those weight loss goals. So I do hope that you go buy the custom keto diet. I'm happy to give you the bonuses as soon as you send me kind of your receipt and or at least the transaction ID, and then we'll be able to get these videos to you. And then I'm quite certain that you're going to have a lot of success.